I hope you guys have been able to find everything okay. My name is Amber, and I'm very sorry that I'm late, and I'm very sorry that I'm out of breath. I literally just finished my workout, and it was a cardio workout because I was off by a day. Anyway, I meant to send out a warning message before I got on today, but my kids are home for a snow day, and I totally just lost track of all sanity and time. So please forgive me. I'll send out a message afterwards saying that I am done instead. So I'm going to go ahead and get started so that whoever's watching this as a replay, which sounds like everyone now, won't have to wait to get started. My name is Amber Johnson. I already said that. This past week, I think, marks my 18th month as a coach. So I'm still a baby coach. I have an almost 3-year-old daughter, and I still consider her a baby. And I figure by the time that I'm like 4 or 5 years into this, I'll feel like I actually am a professional. But for now, I'm just a baby coach. But I'm doing it for long enough that I know how to do it. I'm just still in the beginning building process of actually getting my business going. So I wanted to talk to you today about what coaches actually do, because there are a lot of people who don't know. Welcome to our group. I hope that everything I have to say will make sense to you. I hope some of it resonates with you. And I hope that throughout the day as you're watching these videos that you will feel at home and at ease and like this is a good fit for you, because we'd love to have you on our team. It's a continually growing, changing, adapting business, which makes it fun because there's a lot of variety. And keeps us on our toes and excited to keep moving forward and setting new goals and pushing for them. So I hope that fits your lifestyle needs as well. So let's get started. As I was thinking about what to talk to you guys about, I just made a list of questions that I had when I was considering becoming a coach, and then wrote all the answers that I know to them. So if I miss something, then please leave a comment below and I will read through them at the end if there are any. And if you're rewatching this, I promise I'll come back tonight and tomorrow morning again, maybe even after that, and check for new questions and comments to make sure that everyone has their questions answered. So first question for me was, what is a coach and why should I care? So let me start with the mission statement of Team Beachbody. So there are two parts of the Beachbody company. There's corporate Beachbody, where they make the programs and the supplements and set up events and things like that. And then there's Team Beachbody, which is the whole network of coaches like me. So the mission of Team Beachbody and all the coaches is to help people achieve their goals and live healthy, fulfilling lives. And I'm quoting that verbatim. Help people achieve their goals and live healthy, fulfilling lives. So that's what coaches do. We help people set and achieve their goals and help them to create healthy, fulfilling lives. But that's really broad. That's very non-specific, very kind of like up in the clouds kind of thing. So I'm going to break it down a little more. So we're coaches, right? And in any other setting, the word coach, here's the definition straight from Webster, an athletic instructor or trainer. Check. A trainer or instructor, or as a verb, it's to teach, to urge or prompt, to give extra or private teaching. So that's what the word coach is defined as. And we're all of those things. Maybe we're not certified personal trainers. Maybe we're not life coaches. Maybe we don't have any special degrees or school instruction credentials that make us coaches. But think about like youth sports. What gives someone the credential or authority or ability to coach like a youth soccer team or something? Just by virtue of being a parent, usually, or a teacher on staff at the school, if it's a school program, or on staff at the youth organization or whatever it is. You don't have to have any special training to be a youth coach for a sport. In fact, I have a lot of friends who do coach their kids' teams for different sports and things. And just recently, like last week, a friend of mine became a high school track and field coach. And the funniest part to me is that she doesn't even have a kid at that school anymore. Her older daughter just went to college, and they have a couple of younger sons who I don't think they're even in track and field, but her daughter really was, and now her daughter moved on to go and do track and field for her university, and she's signed on to college athlete, that whole shebang. But for the 4 years that she was in high school, she was really into track and field. So my friend Diana, her only credentialing or training was showing up at the meets for 4 years and watching all these high school athletes do their thing. And she also took pictures for the team. That's it. So by virtue of sitting there on the bleachers for 4 years, she is now qualified to coach that group. And I'm not trying to put down the group at all, or my friend. I love her to death, and she's great at what she does. But that's my point. You don't have to have special training, any special credentials or schooling or whatever to be able to be a really fantastic health and fitness coach, even for adults. And in fact, most of the really top coaches who are making hundreds of $1,000s a year doing this stuff don't have any special certifications. A couple do, but most of them don't. The great majority don't, and you don't have to either. Okay, let's see. My next thought was, okay, so let's go on then. We know what a coach is now, but what do coaches actually do? Well, I have a couple of ways of breaking this down. The first thing we need to talk about is the 4 vital behaviors. And we call them vital behaviors because, thank you, Tiffany chimed in. She does youth coaching for her kids, and she said they don't get any special training for their Boys and Girls Club either. See? So, like I said, you don't need anything special. You just have to want to do it, and you'll learn along the way. I promise. We do lots of trainings, and I'll get that in a minute. So what do coaches actually do? We start off with the 4 vital behaviors. So there are 4, and these things, like I said, are vital. They're crucial. They're essential. This is the lifeblood of your personal journey and also of your business. The first one is to be a product of the product, but that really means just taking care of yourself and going on your own health and fitness journey, setting your own goals, and then working for those goals. So if you're doing the Beachbody workouts already, if you're drinking Shakeology already, then you're already doing those things. Or if you've done something like the 3-day refresh or any of the other Beachbody products, then you're already going to be getting results. You're setting yourself up to be a product of the product. So as long as you're doing your part to take care of you every day, then check number 1 off of the box. Number 2 is to invite. Always be inviting. And this does not have to be weird. I think this is the biggest hang up most people have about being a coach. And I know it's the biggest hang up that I had about being a coach too. So that's why I feel really confident talking about this. When I say invite, I don't mean cold messaging anybody. I don't mean being pushy. I don't mean being salesy. What I mean is you have friends who might want to lose some weight, or you have friends who have had babies and want to get the baby weight off, or you have friends who want to go hike the Grand Canyon and need to get in shape for that, or you have family members who are pre-diabetic and want to get their health back in order. And you already know these people. So you can reach out and say, look, I'm doing these programs and it's making a world of a difference in my life. Have you ever considered giving it a try? Come over to my house, let's preview it. Or here, you're at my house visiting for Thanksgiving or Christmas or Easter is coming up. Every time my mom's in town, I share my Shakeology with her. And she's always like, yeah, that does taste really good. I think that's a really good idea. She hasn't bought any, but I invite her to every time she's around. And those little things, it can be totally seamless, normal, just like asking your friend if they've seen a movie that you love, or asking if they want to go for a walk with you, or asking if they like your dress you bought last week. Totally normal, totally natural, nothing weird or pressury. The third one is to give recognition. This is a vital behavior. It's so important. We're here to cheer people on, to encourage them, to help them to notice the little victories they're having along the way, because the big results that you see in the before and after pictures, those are usually months of work in between the first picture and the last picture. And you need to keep going and not quit in between. So we give lots of recognition. That's to people we're working with and people we're not working with, people that we're really close to and people we're not really close to. I cheer on people who are not in my groups all the time. Pretty much every time I'm on social media and I see someone working out, I give them a little rah and ask how they're doing, what they're doing, whether they love it or not, and what results they're seeing from it. Sometimes that actually leads to an invite. Sometimes it's just the two of us going back and forth and cheering each other on and never having any business to do with each other, but it's lots of recognition. And then the fourth vital behavior, and this one's important for a lot of reasons, that is personal development. You could also consider it professional development, mindfulness practices, spirituality, all those things that fill your head and your heart with goodness that help you to have the drive that you need to keep going forward. And as a business owner and a CEO of your company and someone who's trying to build credibility and build stamina and build confidence in themselves, you need this, not just so you can keep working out every day, but so you can take all of the stuff that comes with owning a business and run with it, because it's not easy to own a business. I've owned 2 businesses. This is my second one. Before this, I owned a retail cloth diaper company. It was e-commerce, so I did it at home. Same kind of idea, did all the networking, marketing, and everything like that over the internet, just like I am now with Beachbody. But it was hard work and mostly just brain work. So I had to get myself into the right mindset every day before I got started. I would start with prayer, I'd read my scriptures, and then I would read professional development stuff, things about how to run a business, that kind of stuff. Now, personal development's a little different because it's more about what you personally are going through, what your personal struggles are. My personal development has ranged a huge gamut, and I keep scripture study separate. So I do that every day, no matter what, 7 days a week, anytime I'm having a hard time. But then I tag on my personal development on top of that. Sometimes it's learning to be a better parent and reading parenting books. Sometimes it's working on our finances and reading financial things. Sometimes it's just mindset, reading things like As Man Thinketh, so I can get my head in the game. Sometimes it is business oriented. The last month or so, I've been studying a course on social media marketing. My husband has a DVD course that we love that's all about body language, all kinds of skill practices, and anything that you could use to get your mind in the right spot. And it could be webinars, it could be videos, YouTube videos, audiobooks, paper, hard copy books, any kind of stuff, but personal development. So you're building your, so that you're becoming the best version of yourself along the way as you're building a business. That also attracts more people to you, which then helps you to have more opportunities to invite and to encourage. And you can see where this cycle starts to get going, and that's why it's vital. So these are the 4 vital behaviors. Now, I promise you that if you're already a challenger, or if you're already starting on your fitness journey or taking care of yourself, you are probably doing at least 2, if not 3 of those vital behaviors already. You just might not know it. You never had a label for it. Or maybe you're doing it in a different kind of niche than you would as a coach. But I promise you're doing it already. If you give encouragement to friends, or if you ever invite someone to try something new that you love, or if you're already into self-help books or personal development books, or you follow YouTube gurus like Brendon Burchard or Darren Hardy or Hal Elrod or anything, you're already doing personal development. So all you need to do is find that 4th one and plug it in. And usually it's invites, and I promise that if you practice at it, it gets way better, and it won't feel weird or awkward or like you're ruining anyone's day. That's just my observation, but I'm pretty sure it's true. You can think of that on your own. Okay, so then my second answer to the question of what do coaches actually do will be power hours. So like I said, if you're already doing 2 or 3 vital behaviors, or maybe even 4 already, then what's the difference between the challenger doing some vital behaviors and the coach who's actually making money and generating an income and building a business? The difference is focus and intention, and that's it. So these 4 vital behaviors are part of something we call a power hour, or if you already work full time and you're really super busy, then we'd call it power pockets. Same idea, same process, as just a different time of the day that you do things. And all that kind of training we will talk about once you sign up as a coach. So the power hour or the power pockets are the times that you sit down with intention and work on your business. You do specific activities like social media marketing, or like networking, trying to recruit new friends. Let me back up a little bit. I'm getting ahead of myself. It's really simple. It all boils down to purposely building friendships, meaningful relationships with people. And then you go on to those vital behaviors. You invite, you encourage, you help people to reach their goals by teaching them how to do personal development, and then teaching them how to reach out and help other people, helping them to see the results so they can be the product of the product, and then helping them to do those 3 other vital behaviors along the way. It includes training new coaches. So if you come on into our team, we will mentor you one-on-one, 5-on-1, the whole shebang. We'll give you everything you need to know to run a successful business. And if you do the work, you will have success. And that's it. So that's what coaches actually do. Okay, I hope that no one fell off the bandwagon here. I got a text message and my phone paused the broadcast. Okay, so that is what coaches do every day. We do the 4 vital behaviors and we do power hours to fit them in with intention. And that's really all you need to know at this point. But once you sign on as a coach, we will get into the nitty-gritty of what the actual step-by-step process is that you'll do every single day to be able to recruit new people and be able to generate an income. So then my last question that I thought about when I was looking into becoming a coach was, oh, sorry, I have 2 more questions. I got ahead of myself again. What tools and resources do coaches have? So the first tool I'll talk about will answer my actual other question, and that was how do challenge groups work? So there's a good chance you're already in a challenge group, or your coach who invited you here has already talked to you about challenge groups. Challenge groups are communities or venues or forums where we do our coaching with our current clients. So we call you challengers just to differentiate in our jargon, right? So you're not someone more like a prospect that we're trying to bring in or a friend we're trying to bring in. You're a challenger. So you've signed up, you have your challenge pack or a Beachbody on Demand subscription, or you're drinking the Shakeology, and we're trying to help you. We're funneling you into this group where everyone is working on their own personal goals. And we're creating this community where we can come together and help each other troubleshoot, help each other answer questions, just work through the daily grind of working towards our goals, making the programs fit in our lifestyle, making the nutrition plans fit, having little mini challenges to keep everyone engaged, those sorts of things. So as a coach, that'll be an essential part of what you do every day. You'll check in with your challenge group, you'll set up coach posts to encourage and motivate, educate, inspire, whatever, and you'll check in with each of your challengers every single day to make sure that wherever their struggles are, that you can help them with that. So that's one of the resources we have as coaches. That's our ongoing job every day, in addition to bringing new people in. We earn money from both residual purchases, like if someone's on Shakeology all the time, and new challengers coming in. We earn money on both. So we do both. We focus time in both areas. Sorry, I'm tripping on my words a little bit. But then we have lots of other tools too. We have social media is our biggest tool for networking and adding friends and creating relationships and doing inviting and advertising things like this group, or like new challenge groups we have opening up, or doing free groups. We use social media for a lot of that stuff. Not everything, because we still also invite in person and have real life conversations and, family members and people we see in person too. But social media is a huge tool. We have the My Challenge Tracker app for challenge groups, or Facebook for challenge groups. The My Challenge Tracker app I love because it tracks your progress along the way. So you can start a challenge group and do your weigh-in and do your before pictures and do your measurements, and then it'll track your progress every time you log in. At the very end, when you do your after stuff, it'll tell you how much you've lost or gained and where you stand. And it tracks your workouts and it tracks your Shakeology. You can also send messages back and forth between coaches and challengers in there, and it just creates its own little forum. I have hopes they'll keep improving it over time, because every 4 or 5 months I do updates and improvements to it, and it gets easier and easier to use over time. We also have team trainings, which I briefly mentioned earlier, but these are so important. So team trainings, this is not our entire team. So the 5-6 ladies, including me, who are speaking today is not everyone on the team. We have lots and lots of coaches on our team, and lots of them who are really successful and lots who are brand new. And so we come together as a team on a regular basis, and we do trainings on the business, on mindset, on pretty much anything in the whole gamut of coaching that you would want covered. And we make sure that we come together to share best practices along the way. So you're never really alone in what you're doing. We have special groups and trainings from Beachbody Corporate and other lead coaches in the network. So like the top 10 coaches, top 20 coaches, new leaders who are getting way up high into the business and earning lots and lots of money and having lots of success. They share what they're doing with the newbies. And so we can glean all these great tips and tricks from everyone. No one keeps their success to themselves in this business, which I really love, because then everyone gets to have success. We have something called the National Wake Up Call every single Monday at 9 a.m. I think. I usually listen to the replay because my kids are getting ready for school. So every Monday morning, Carl Deichler, well, actually, he's not always on there. Other leaders in Beachbody corporate have a call with the entire coaching network. Everyone's invited to listen in. It's on Facebook now, but it used to be a phone call. You can do it both ways. And there's always a guest coach who's just like wildly good at the business and sharing tips and tricks and best practices and inspirational stories and all that kind of stuff. They do announcements, giveaways, all kinds of things like that. So there's continual training every single week through that. There are also events like Super Saturday that happens every 3 months throughout the year. It's quarterly, that's 3 months, right? Yeah, 3 times 4. And those are in person, like seminar, continuing education kind of things. We usually go to Phoenix. I'm in Flagstaff, so we drive like the 3 hours down to Phoenix and try to meet up as a team. And it's same thing: best practices, announcements, giveaways, usually a live workout with one of the celebrity trainers from Beachbody or a visit from someone in corporate. And it's awesome. It's really, really great energy and really good experience every 3 months. And once a year, there's something called Team Summit, or Coach Summit, where we all go to the same location, all like 400,000 coaches go to the same place. This year, it's going to be in Indianapolis, Indiana, and it's just a whole weekend long of continuing education. Lots of speakers, lots of there are 2 or 3 keynote speakers who are huge motivators, like Brenda Bouchard and Darren Hardy were at the last one. Chalene Johnson talked about network marketing because she has a huge business about network marketing. You get to do 3 or 4 celebrity trainer workouts, including one giant one where it's like every single coach that's there and all of the celebrity trainers all at once. Like we took up the entire downtown of New Orleans last year. It was so cool. 25,000 people or something, or more than that. There are really cool pictures online you can see. There are Facebook pages like the Team Beachbody 401, Beachbody Champions. All those things are just filled with videos from successful coaches who are sharing their best practices and giving ideas and suggestions. And you can talk to each other. Like, I can actually have a conversation with the top coaches in the network and ask them questions, and they'll answer them. And so everyone's pretty highly accessible, and you can get all the information you need from all these different trainings. And then if all of that fails you, there's also training modules in your back office. So as a coach, we have a separate portion of the Beachbody website where we track all of our business stuff, all of our income, all of our all the record orders and things like that. And there's also a training section in there. So there are just like endless resources, like literally endless resources. I can't keep up with all of them, to help you grow your business and know what you're supposed to be doing every day. So I just want to emphasize that even though you are labeled as an independent coach in this business, you are never, ever alone. You are never left to your own devices. If you just reach out to just the closest coach next to you, you will get tons of encouragement and support and help and answers to your questions. So as you're going into the rest of these videos, I want you to keep that in mind and just never feel like you're alone or you have to figure this out by yourself. In the beginning, I thought I had to, and that was really intimidating, really overwhelming, and I felt like I just couldn't hack it. But then I came to my senses and realized that if I just started asking the questions, I get the answers. Even if I asked the wrong questions, I usually got the right answers because it kind of trickles down from all kinds of different places, and lots of people are there to help and support you. If you have other questions, leave them in the comments, and I will be happy to answer all of them. If it's really detailed, I might just personally message you, but just let me know. And I want to close just by sharing a little bit of my story. I became a coach 18 months ago. It was September of 2016. My youngest baby had just turned 2, or was about to turn 2, because I started in September and her birthday was the end of September. So she was 23 months old when I started. I was still feeling hefty and like a cow after her pregnancy. I have 4 kids. The first baby, the baby weight I gained with him just melted off like within a few weeks. It really wasn't that big of a deal. I was in great shape when I was pregnant with him, and even better shape before I conceived. And I was a really active person, and so it just melted right off. My second baby, I gained hardly any weight at all during her pregnancy because I was super active with renovating the house we were living in during her pregnancy. And so I didn't have any weight really to lose after she was born. It was just water weight. My third baby, I had a great pregnancy, didn't gain a lot of weight. But then the stress of having 3 babies, oh my gosh, that was so overwhelming. At the same time, my husband was starting his second year of dental school. And if you know anything about that kind of terminal degree program, he was gone. I was a single mom. It was just so messy emotionally. And instead of gaining weight during his pregnancy, I gained so much weight after he was born. I was the heaviest I'd ever been at that point by the time he was about a year old. And that's when I really started investing in my own health and fitness. And I lost all the weight. I used a program called Chalene Extreme, which most people don't know of anymore because it's older now. It was a really great program led by Chalene Johnson. And by the time that we celebrated his first birthday, I looked smoking hot. And I felt good about it. And then just 2 months later, we had a little surprise that we were going to have a 4th baby. And I kind of crumpled inside because we had planned to only have 3. And as excited as I was, because I love our babies, I didn't know if I could handle losing the weight again. And my husband was still in dental school. He was actually out of town when we found out that I was pregnant. He was in Oregon for 6 weeks doing an external rotation. And I was a wreck trying to figure out how I was going to handle morning sickness with him gone, how I was going to still, keep life together with these other 3 kids. My third baby still didn't sleep at night. Life was just messy. And I gained the most I've ever gained in my life during that 4th pregnancy. I was a mess when she was born. And at the end of the pregnancy, her head was wedged so deeply into my pelvis because my pelvic floor had gotten weak that I couldn't walk. My pelvis, one side was tilted out almost 30 degrees. It was horrible. I was in so much pain. So the thought of exercise was just out. I could barely even lift one of my kids or take groceries in and out of the car. And my husband at that point was doing he was starting his residency. So he was still in school. He was gone even more during the day, but he had Saturdays and Sundays off. So like Monday through Friday, he was gone, just gone, didn't even exist. My neighbor wondered if I was even married anymore. And she was born and nothing got better. And she turned 1 and nothing was better. And she got to be about 20 months old and I thought I was just doomed to always be overweight. And if you had seen pictures of me, you probably would think, oh, well, don't complain, don't whine. But I felt so horrible inside. I was about 30 pounds overweight. I didn't want to admit it, which again, for some people, that's not much. And that's cool, no problem. But I'm only 5'3", so 30 extra pounds weighed really heavy on me, and I still couldn't walk. My pelvis was still malaligned, even though I had been stretching and seeing chiropractors and getting adjustments and trying to sleep better at night and stuff. It just wasn't getting better. We moved, and my husband finally took his first job, and we moved to a town where I didn't know anybody. We didn't have family around, and I had all these 4 kids, and at first I had to move by myself. My husband had to finish up his residency for an extra month when we moved up, so I literally knew no one. And a really sweet neighbor of ours introduced me to Brielle. And Brielle has no filters, which is one of the things I love about her. You'll hear from her later. She's my coach, my upline, and we were getting to know each other a little bit, and I laughed because I heard that she was a Beachbody coach, and I was like, I've always thought about doing that. And she looked me in the eyes and was like, well, what are you waiting for? Just do it. And I was like, well, I owned a business in the past. I didn't really want to take that on again. And she was like, well, that's dumb. You should do it anyway. And I was really offended at first and then went home and told my husband, I was like, I can't believe that she just said that to me. It was just so rude. And like 3 or 4 days later, I admitted that she was right. So I talked to my husband about it and I committed to restart. So during all this time between my 3rd baby and getting to be a fit hot mama again to 3 years later, 2.5, 3 years later, when my 4th baby was just about to turn 2, I had tried and failed to take care of my body on my own. And I kept thinking back to when I did Chalene Extreme and had success, for like the one and only time that I really had like true success. And I kept thinking, yeah, it's a good idea, but it costs too much, or it takes too much time, or, I'm not getting enough sleep, or whatever the dumb excuses were that came into my head. And I finally just committed. And I ordered the challenge pack, and I signed up as a coach at the same time. And Brielle let me help her lead her group. And in that first month, I did country heat, so it wasn't even high intensity. It's country line dancing for 30 minutes a day, 25 to 30 minutes a day. I think one workout's like 23 minutes, so not long. No impact. I carried my baby in my ergo carrier half the time because she was cranky and needed to be held. So I'd either put her on my stomach or on my back in the backpack doing country line dancing, slow country line dancing because my hip was still out of whack, remember? And I lost 8 pounds that first month. And I started drinking Shakeology, and I had more energy, and I started feeling better, and I had better digestion, and I had better regularity, and my hair and my nails and my skin just like immediately cleared up and got stronger and shinier and healthier and longer, and it was miraculous. And I didn't need to get as much sleep, even though my daughter was still waking me up every night 2 or 3 times a night because she was still nursing. It didn't affect me as much. And I started feeling better just inside about myself and who I was because I was serving other people in that group. I was putting effort into other people, and then they were like reciprocating and sending it right back to me. And it was amazing. Still didn't want a business though. I just started coaching for the discount from Shakeology, and so that I could have a reason to be more accountable. And that accountability changed my life, and that service changed my life. And within the next 3 or 4 months, I was talking to Brielle about earning money because I was getting a couple of people who were interested in joining me. And it was so exciting. And now I've been doing this for 18 months. The actual business part I started around a year ago, but we've gone through big ups and downs since then. We bought a house and moved again. We've had all kinds of chaos going on, and just starting really in December of 2017, I really fully committed to being a business building coach, and not just a hobby coach, and not just a discount coach where I was just working on myself, but actually actively reaching out and having those power hours and really doing the 4 vital behaviors every single day. 7 days a week. I don't do my power hour 7 days a week, but I do the 4 vital behaviors every single day, 7 days a week. And it is making a huge difference in my mindset, in my body, and now in my wallet. And even my kids this morning, they worked out with me, and it's just life now. It's just what we do. We are just a healthy, superfood eating, exercising, encouragement giving family, and all of that is because I decided to commit to buying that challenge pack and getting in Brielle's group and helping her with the coach posts every day. I will close it there because I think I'm like way over time, but I'm really glad that I could share it with you, and I hope that it's inspiring and that you'll watch the next speaker, which will be at 10:30. I think that's 10:30 Mountain Standard Time, 11:30 Central Time, and that'll be how do you make money as a coach with Brielle. Have a fantastic day.